We have assembled our Sunday roundtable, or better known as our Sunday Brady Bunch boxes. We're joined by Democratic political analyst Marianne Marsh and Republican political analyst Ginny Buckingham. Guys, you just heard Mary to Jimmy of the Massachusetts Teachers Association. I mean, obviously what's ahead of us with the kids this fall is vital. Are her arguments against the governor's guidelines legitimate?
So what I heard was a liberal agenda, not a plan for how we bring kids back to school safely. Schools have been closed since March. Where's their alternative plan? I heard a lot about the wealth tax. I heard about getting police out of schools. I heard about killing the MCAS. Let's look at what we need to do to work together to make this go well for our families who need their kids back in school so they can work.
Marianne?
Look, Ginny didn't hear a plan because there is no way to bring everyone back to school without spreading COVID-19. That is a fact. You put kids inside. Every teacher, every teacher's aide, every custodian, every cafeteria worker, every bus driver, every coach, everybody is now going to be exposed. I don't know how this works. What you should be doing is doing distance learning. Yes, the last semester failed. Why isn't everybody doubling down on that? The Boston Public Schools are encouraging kids to go to summer school online. Do it for one more semester. We're entering the flu season this fall. Do it right, because there are going to be other reasons for kids to be out of school, including snow, that we can keep kids learning on track the best way they can by doing it online.
So I have to say, I trust my pediatrician and the Pediatricians Association to know what's best for kids more than a teachers union, and that's just the fact.
And many people came out against the pediatrician's letter and said that it was political, not based on science.
Which leads us to phase 3. Governor Baker is launching phase 3 tomorrow, which includes gyms, museums, movie theaters, and duck tours. In Boston, phase 3 will be delayed 1 week until July 13th. So as we watch what's happening in Texas, Arizona, and Florida, are we moving a little too fast, Marianne?
Why didn't we wait 2 more weeks after the 4th of July holiday? Because then we would know what happened with the, over the 4th of July. Were people vigilant, or is there now an uptick in the data? You want to follow the data, but follow it at the right time. It would be 2 weeks after this holiday weekend. Then decide to go into it and have Boston go later. And then we don't have another holiday until Labor Day. So you've got 6, 7, 8 weeks right in there that you can make adjustments if we have to really double down or dial back or go forward. And I think that would have been a smarter move.
Ginny, was the timing off here?
No, I mean, I think the public has shown they trust Governor Baker to make a decision based on data. That's what he's done. There are some still unhappy people who are not able to open, like bar owners who aren't serving seated food. So I think he's being slow, cautious, and not saying we ought to be held hostage by the bad decisions in other parts of the country where they didn't do what we did to get to this point.
The governor this week loosened up his travel advisory for folks traveling throughout the Northeast, but he does continue to ask travelers from everywhere else, essentially, in the country to quarantine. With no way of policing people coming from other states with high cases, Marianne, how confident are you that tourists will self-quarantine effectively?
Well, that's not true, because Maine is requiring Massachusetts, because we've been banned from Maine unless we show up with a COVID-19 test negative within 72 hours of arriving in Maine, and otherwise you have to quarantine. So Massachusetts didn't meet Maine standards. New York did, New Jersey did, Connecticut did, New Hampshire did, Vermont did, but not Massachusetts, and it seemed to be news to Governor Baker last week at his press conference. So I would say we should be monitoring people the way Maine and other states are, because otherwise people are just flooding in here, and you saw the line of cars going to the Cape from the bridge from Boston.
Right.
Yeah, it's not we should be doing that.
What do you think, Jane?
I think the innkeepers in Maine might disagree with you, who are really suffering and might lose their livelihoods forever. And there is no way to police it. It's an honor system, and let's hope people honor it if they've been exposed. But I think we have to recognize it's a very open country. And for the most part, people are going to stay home this summer. And for those innkeepers who need some travel, let's be reasonable.
Again, we are sacrificing kids' health, the economy, and everything to just open up schools, to open up the inns, to open up Maine. And I think the cost isn't worth the risk. It just isn't. And we've spent all these months locked down to then maybe have to go backwards. We have to be doubly vigilant, not less.
It's another COVID-related question. It looks like vote by mail will come to Massachusetts for this election cycle. After disasters in a lot of states, Colorado this week managed to hold a flawless election. But you have to remember, it's a system that's been in place since 2014, so they've had 6 years to get it together. What do you predict is going to happen here, Ginny?
A lot of paper cuts for our poor town clerks. It's going to be a very difficult situation to manage. I think there'll be some problems. We have to expect that, and let's try it. And I'm glad they didn't say forever this is how we're going to do it, because we have to see how it works.
Marianne?
Look, Massachusetts is lagging, not leading on vote by mail. So for everybody up at the State House who's patting themselves on the back, you're doing it wrong. It's 4 steps now. You're sending a ballot application, you're receiving the application, you have to process the application, then you send the ballot, then you process the ballot. Do what California does, and they send a ballot to all 21 million voters in California. 2 steps, not 4 steps, and we have 4.6 million voters. Just send everybody a ballot, then count it. That's it. It's simple.
It's 2020. Do it on this thing. We'll be right back.